doing that now. Okay. All right. Okay, this is Stephen Cuffey reporting for the broadcasters meeting, the second one of this year, 2019. I say Happy New Year to all the broadcasters. Okay. You know, I know this is something that we're going to be doing throughout the year, and it usually will be after Randy does his send button meeting. But I want to say that one thing that we're going to probably discuss many topics throughout the year, and in relation to the Billion Coin, things that we have to try to get the message out to our broadcasters so our broadcasts could be in unison and be unified and getting the message out to all our TBC members. And one of the things that came across my mind today, and it just so happened that when I saw it on the blog, and I thought I would talk about today the subject of scarcity mindset. Scarcity mindset. Okay. And what I'm going to do before we talk about it, I'm going to go to the very first blog post. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to share my screen. And can everyone see my screen? Hey, Randy, can you see the screen?
I can see your screen, brother.
Okay, good. Okay. I'm not going to play the video. I'm going to just go down. And I know a lot of us have been a long time since we went over this this topic. Okay. Okay. This was the very first blog post. Okay. And I'm going to just expand it a little bit so I can see it better. All right. And it says, have you ever suspected that the whole game of life is rigged? Your suspicions are correct. This video may be short, but it says a lot. Here is what it said. 2016, and that was when, you know, when admin launched the Billion Coin. It's said to be more unequal world than ever before.
The new one on top.
Sorry,
let me before I get started, keep this. Let me mute everybody here so I can mute all. All right.
Remove the one on the flag.
Okay, now I keep going now. All right. For the first time, the richest 1% of the population will enjoy a greater share of global wealth than the other 99%. Now think about that right there. For the first time, the richest 1% of the population will enjoy the greatest share of global wealth than the other 99%. Now, this statement comes from the people that bring you The Economist, a publisher that caters to the 1% elite of the world. If you are like most people, the contents of this video that's above here makes you very upset and not, not of jealousy, but because this is so unfair. You are being ripped off, and not just in a financial sense. Your time, energy, and efforts have been exploded. It seems that the evil people that set up this whole system are not satisfied with what they already have. Seems like they won't stop spreading artificial scarcity until they also possess your soul too. Alarming. Now let me stop right there for a moment. You know, and I'm sure Randy and a few others may have some something to say about the subject of scarcity mindset. You know, our system I can speak of our system here in the United States. I'm sure Randy can do that too. And I'm sure everyone that's listening to this could can relate to this in their locations. All over the world, this personally, just my feeling, I feel like the system that we are in was never really meant for us. It was meant for the elite. And the unfortunate thing has happened. Was brought up by our even parents, and they knew no better to succumb to what they had, what perhaps your government gave you, whether it was in our country, federal, state, or local governments. Now, I'm not here to bash any government here, but because we are so dependent of what we have, of what we've always had, we tend not to expand our mind to even know what we should have. So when I have went over this blog post several times, not just here recently, but over the life of me doing broadcasts and me going over different blog posts, because that's what I do. I'm all over the blog. But I'm gonna keep going, okay? It says, unfortunately, most people have literally been brainwashed into believing that scarcity is normal and acceptable. It's not. The most natural thing is abundance. See, I'm gonna stop right there. Folks, and I know Randy can probably can talk on this. I'm telling you right now, when you were born, you wasn't taught abundance. You wasn't taught in terms of in your mind. You wasn't presented abundance. Maybe in your time when you were a child, maybe you thought that was what you had. All you believe is whatever you were given is what you had. But do you know in our Bible, it talks about abundance all the time in that Bible? Isn't it interesting enough that it's also appearing here in the blog? So what I'm saying to you is we all have to be thinking abundance and not of a scarcity mindset, because that has plagued our mind for centuries. Not just our century, but centuries. Now, would it take? Now, would it take? Would it be hard to change that mindset? For some, yes. For some, possibly no. The ones that may be a little easier are people who are reaching out to find something to better themselves in terms of their mind. Perhaps they're reading things over the internet. Maybe they're going to the library, reading books. Maybe they're listening to audio clips of great thinkers, great speakers, people who perhaps talk about abundance. Maybe you talk to your pastor about it. But we as people have to change that scarcity mindset into an abundance mindset. And I'm gonna go on. It says, and humanity is being robbed of all of their dreams and aspirations. Can you relate to that? If by now you have no idea what I'm talking about, then the elite has succeeded, in your case, in keeping you in the dark, completely unaware of what's really happening. Now think about that for a moment. Has an admin repeatedly put in our blog different videos with one of the I tell you, I just believe admin does that for a reason. Now, of course, I'm sure admin puts it in the videos there to bring us up on current events that's going around us. Because some of us are thinking in our own shell. We're not thinking about anything that's going on around us that could affect us. Now, when I think about what's going on here, one of the biggest things that's going on in the U.S., our government has been shut down. Longest it's ever been shut down. People are at risk of losing their homes. They're losing everything. I mean, they're losing some things that mean the most to them. Even special need kids are not getting their needs met. That's horrible. But when you think about we as people, there are so many people. When I think about something the admin was saying in the blog about, a lot of us are waiting for something to happen. Well, when I think about that type of thing, I'm thinking that also relates to scarcity mindset. Like you want something to happen for you, instead of you taking the initiative, like admin is keeps saying over and over and over in the blog, to take the initiative to grow our community to 1 billion members. Because folks, we cannot make this thing happen in admin if we don't have massive growth in our community. The billion is what we're called the billion coin. I talk about our goal is all the time in our live broadcast about getting to 1 billion members, but our mission is to end global poverty. So I'm not going to go through this. My goal was not to go through this whole blog post, because I'm sure several of you, broadcasters have been through it and have read it. But I want to, what I want to do now is just bring on a few people, because this is not going to be a long, drawn out broadcasters meeting. But I want to hear from some people on how they feel, what they have to say about scarcity mindset, and what you hear other people saying in your location. Can I bring on, hold on just a minute. Hold on a minute. Mufu, are you there, sir? I'm gonna mute you.
Okay. I was with guys here and they were trying to distract me a little bit, but I'm really focused on what you're saying and on point to what you're saying. The mentality mindset which goes back here is that people are so desperate. When people saw CBC, they thought that it was just a money-producing machine. That is, they will just subscribe to CBC and the next morning they will be a billionaire. But what they have taken time to really understand is that we needed to be schooled in this financial education or financial literacy, which is the focus or the brain behind what Amin is trying to share with us. So most people here see things, are we catching it out, and when do we catch it out, when do we remove it? But we have tried with the time being to really make them to understand that we need not only the money, but the mindset that we need to have is what is the most important, because the skills of a billionaire or the skills of a millionaire need to first of all be cultivated and nurtured by each and every one before we now run with the currency in place. But most people are still really very tied down to that mentality of scarcity, in the sense that what people are refusing to say to get associated by saying that what internet is expensive. They don't have the right gadgets to get connected to live broadcast. The ads are not appropriate. This or that, the complaints are coming up, but they are very silly complaints. Because when I started full-time time TVC, I said if Mr. Vederick has been doing it, it means that everybody can do it. So when we usually meet at the meetings, I usually tell them it's not a problem of getting the right tools or the right material, but it's all about understanding the vision, catching it, and running with it. So that is how we have been trying to shape the mentality gradually, and some are adhering and others are still really dragging their legs because their mind is still very curbed and focused on the aspect of which the powers that be have really enslaved them in. But I know, as Amin has said with other posts, with other different posts in the blog, that what a time will be that they will be awakened through what we are doing and they will follow suit. So we need to keep on telling them, just like the post that Amin gave yesterday was so mind-blowing. The skills of a billionaire. Those skills are what we need to nurture and we need to grow and we need to be talking of every time and carry them along. So let me just hold the mic for long. That is what I think I can share.
Well, thank you so much. Because, you know, when I think about, people talk about, you know, we know that we have maybe millions and maybe some people billions of TBC coin in our wallets. And there are some people out there thinking that we need to, why can't we spend it right now? Why can't we use it for goods and services right now? And not realizing that we are in this whole TBC movement is in an evolution stage. You know, we're going from nothing to something. And when you go from nothing to something, you know, it's not something that you turn like a off and on switch, a light switch. It's something that gradually moves from one destination to another destination. And what people got to understand is, if you got all this abundance of coin and you don't have the right mindset before we get to 1 billion members, where we'll be able to use our coin for goods and services, how can we even provide the jobs for people if the members themselves or us as leaders don't have the right mindset? If we got to go in this thing as we move towards 1 billion, we got to move. It's going to take some work on everybody's part in terms of our mind when it comes to abundance, because most of us was not born in abundance as far as materialistic things, but it goes further than materialistic things. Your vision to be able to reach out to people, to help people, is looked at as abundance. You're thinking on how to raise a family, you're thinking about abundance. You're working on a job. If you're really into your profession, say if you're a doctor, you're thinking about helping as many people as possible. So that word abundance and scarcity is like hot and cold, you know? So this is what I really wanted to talk about. And what I want to do now, Randy, are you there, sir? Let me see, Randy there. I know he was there. I don't know if he's still.
I'm here.
Okay. Do you have anything to say anything regarding what I'm talking about, this scarcity mindset? Because
Yes,
I know you probably been thought about this, has come across your mind several times.
Yes, sir. And I
What's
think
your opinion about it?
This is such a great topic to discuss because I'm in a process. You guys have seen this thing called status correction. I don't know if you guys have, but
I've heard of it.
The Gemstone University associated, the Pantera de Oro.
Yeah.
That's associated with TBC. I'm going through the process.
Oh,
and it's
really?
a lot. Oh yeah, it's a lot. It takes a little, it takes a little money to do it, all these kind of things. But it's a lot. The first part of correcting your status see, a lot of times we just think, oh, I just want to drop the government. I don't want the government to have anything to do with me. I don't want to participate in their money system. I want to be free. I want to be a sovereign. I want to walk the earth the way God intended. I'm just a free man or a free woman. Gosh, it is so much more than that, folks. It's so much more than that.
So much more.
And I was on a special call the other night with Stephen Cousins, Keith Cousins, and there was a one lady on there, and she was like, "Well, what is life? You know, I wanna get a practical view, right, Mofo? I want a practical view of what life is like when your status is corrected." What people are oftentimes looking for is they're looking for freedom, but they want to remain the same.
Wow. That's something.
And they want everything to stay the same. They want to still pay their bills. They want to keep their jobs. They want to run around and have debts, and they want to drive fancy cars. They want to travel the world. They want to look like the illusion, but they want to have freedom. And what people don't understand is the true freedom doesn't look anything like what we're familiar with, because that's all a freaking illusion. It's like looking at that movie, The Matrix. Remember in the movie, The Matrix, when Neo's mind was freed, all of a sudden he was in this environment that looked all crazy looking.
Right.
Rusty, dusty looking, right?
Love that movie. Love that movie. And when his mind was freed, it turned out that the detachment from the lie and bringing into the truth. And what did Morpheus say? Morpheus said, "I'm only offering you the truth, nothing more." Well, unfortunately, Stephen, in your talk today, what you are bringing up is the fact that most people aren't ready to accept the actual truth. Whoa.
And instead, we want to stay attached to the illusion of wealth, but the illusion of wealth is what proliferates this scarcity mindset. See, the illusion of wealth is this idea that we are supposed to somehow get rich like those that actually created the illusion. But see, if we're going to become rich, my friends, we got to let go of that idea of wealth and rich and all this kind of stuff. What do you think? You're going to drive a fancy car that looks better than everybody else in your neighborhood? What do you think? You're going to live in a bigger house than everybody else in your neighborhood? Oh, you're going to get fancy, huh? You're going to dress all fancy. Yeah. You're going to walk around peacocking everywhere. That's not rich, folks. That's not rich. That's scarcity. You think you're going to be that lucky one that gets all rich and fancy, and you can buy and do all of these kind of things so you can support the illusion that's been imposed upon us anyway? That's not how it works. Here's wealth. Here's abundance. You don't need all that kind of stuff. So if you know, in a truly abundant world, you would not be concerned about brand name, materialistic bullshit stuff. In a true abundant world, you don't need all of that stuff. Here's what a true abundant world develops: creators. What are you creating? How are you serving humanity? See, in an abundant world, you are serving humanity. Let me end with this. My definition of intelligence. Let me just end with this. My definition of intelligence is intelligence is the capability to recognize and identify hazards to your well-being and be able to respond to it appropriately. And what's hazardous to our well-being is this idea that we are supposed to live like in the vision of the people that impose the scarcity monetary system on us. That's a hazard to us. when we think that's what we're aiming for. We're not aiming to live the illusion. Okay? What we should be aiming for is the abundance where we don't need that illusion, but love and passion and concern for our fellow man and uplifting humanity, that's where abundance comes in.
Mm. Wow. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all get it? I fully understood everything Randy just stated.
So
see, Randy and I, see, I know we are all pro TBC, but I have said before, I'm involved in so many other things because I build it. I read. I got all this time, so I use it. I study people, great thinkers. I'm trying to, my mind is pretty good, but it can be a lot better. I'm always thinking too. To me personally, I feel like I'm only halfway there. Because guess what, folks? I'm just like everybody else. I was imposed the monetary system too. And Randy and I are in the United States. And I'm telling you, we got a huge monetary system that can be imposed on, and it's constantly imposed. Now, when we think about what our government has done, well, I'm not gonna get all into it, but I'm gonna just put it this way. When I think of 800,000 people, almost 1 million people out of work.
And it's not just that the 1 million people are out of work. Here's the problem. It's 1 million people out of work that have not been, that don't see that they can create anything else for themselves.
Exactly.
It's when you're out of work and that work was your entire identity and validity.
Mm-hmm.
Because the current monetary system makes us believe that job is your validity. Without job, you are useless, worthless, you don't have anything. And see, that's where scarcity comes in. Without a job, what can I do? Without a job, who am I? I don't have a job. And if you saw the blog today, or if you look at the post that admin was highlighting, see, in the abundance world of TBC, we will have millionaires that will create 5 to 10 jobs each, we will have more jobs than there are people that need jobs. Now listen, the current monetary system has taught us that we are to go to school, become specialized, and then utilize our skills, talents, and time to give to a corporation structure something in which we see as a entity that is worthy of our loyalty, okay? And that becomes our validity. Is our devotion to the corporate structure. But see, in the abundance world of TBC, if you could maintain your dignity, which is largely psychological, but you did not have to devote yourself to the corporate structure entity, but let's say you could work, let's say Stephen Covey said, we're going to create an electric power plant in Africa, and we're going to hire all of us to work together, and we'll be paid in TBC. And at that time, TBC is widely accepted and can be easily exchanged and utilized and all these kind of things around the world. Wouldn't we all sign up for that work to do that? We wouldn't be concerned with, well, my degree says that I should be working in this position. Well, my job at this place means that this is where my life is supposed to be devoted to. I can't go outside of the entrainment that was imposed on me.
Mm-hmm.
Once we get the TBC abundant economy together, we can hire people, we can pay them healthily, we can help people take care of their families, we can have people walk the earth with dignity.
Mm-hmm.
What's the real difference in the wealthy and the poor? The real difference is the wealthy walk around with dignity.
Mm-hmm.
That's what power they have. They have power to walk the earth with dignity, even though it's they've decided, hey, we are the dignified.
Mm-hmm.
We are those with dignity.
Mm-hmm.
And they know that if they can impose poverty on people, then the poverty have a harder time with dignity. And they start to flounder and they start having scarcity. And the more scarcity, the less dignity you have. But if we can re-enrich the dignity of the people, and we can treat each other with respect and treat each other with validity and treat each other as we were intended to be treated, then we can elevate ourselves without needing this illusion of material gains.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you know the elite knew? God, listen. No one can convince me that the elite did not know what they were doing. That they allowed scarcity to perpetuate itself on its people for so long that it's almost like a plague, almost like something that everybody has it in their mind from birth. And they keep teaching that to their children, and they grow up, and it just like we bring people in the community, and we teach them everything about TBC, a way of thinking, a way of doing, a way of movement. This thing has perpetuated itself for ages. So it's not an easy thing to change among us. It's not an easy thing to change the way you function in terms of your thinking about scarcity and abundance. I'm so happy you said some of the things you said, because people got this illusion that all they see, all these nice things. I'm not saying those things. Rennie and I are not saying those things are not nice things. Of course they're nice things. But it goes further than that. Oh, I tell you, Rand, I'm so glad you are here today, because we are right on. Woo! I love this particular broadcast meeting, because we're right as one on this today. And what Mufa was just saying was so valuable. I'm not going to spend too much time, but what I want to do is I'd like to hear from you know one thing? Nicole Lee, are you there, dear? Are you there? Nicole?
Yes, I'm here. Yes.
Could you come on a minute for me? I know, because I want to reach out because I know she's very active in our merchant community in her location. And I know you come in contact with people all the time. And I know you be thinking sometime, wow, why do they think like that? Or you may some people may challenge you when you try to approach a merchant in one of your villages, and I know you deal with some challenges at times, but can you just give me your opinion on this scarcity mindset from your standpoint, listening to us and just your standpoint? Anything you got to offer, anything.
Yeah, I think TBC is much bigger than we all can imagine right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we need a lot of education to bring the people on the right path.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so much distraction and everyone's looking just for cashing out And this is sometimes destroying the mindset of many. So we have to teach the whole thing. This is what Randy said and is learning right now in the Pantera school or university. It's so big, because if we have this abundance, if we are free, financial free, this is really big, and we haven't learned this. We haven't learned this in school, right?
Right.
So we need to learn a lot about not only money, about humanity. I think humanity. It's not the fancy lifestyle. This is the people are greeting for fancy lifestyle, but this is too short. This is too short for TBC and for the opportunity with TBC. So I'm creating the merchants community in my country, because I think this is a much stable community to grow TBC members. If we have merchants in our community, the people can see, they can buy, they can spend, they can do something with their wallet. So they don't have to follow scammers. They don't have to fall for exchangers. They don't go in Facebook and check if they can cash out their money, because they can use it right away in the shop. So there's no need.
It's physical, yes.
And for the merchants, it's the best way, in my mind, when they are the first ones, they start in their country or village, because they can act like a bank. They have to be the ones who open the accounts for the clients. So they have the benefit to not to cash out, but to exchange coins against fiat money. So they have the benefit before and after. They can give the TBC payment, the acceptance of TBC payment. I think this is fair, and this is the normal way to build up a stable community. If we have many small members in our villages, it's difficult to find a merchant, because everyone will run into the shop to spend the coin. If we do it other way, if we have a merchant as a first person, as a first place, and the merchant is building the community around his shop, in his village, in his city, then it's, in my opinion, it's much stable. It's more stable than every other way.
Yeah, because you got his customers who know, like, and trust him or her.
Yes, correct.
That is excellent.
I'm so happy that admin is now providing the merchant list online in our website, and I hope that we have also a support team who's checking out all the purchase. Because it's also a good platform for scammers, right? So we have to check everything.
Yeah, you gotta have security around. You gotta have a solid security structure around that whole thing. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and we need this. I mean, we have the contract now, right? We have the contract, and the contract is saying that if you are hurting the community or doing something wrong, which is against our vision, so you should be disqualified.
Yes.
Right away.
Right away.
And if there are people who create Ponzi schemes to scam other community members, they should be qualified forever, in my opinion, because
you're right.
they should not have the opportunity to act in our community anymore.
Absolutely. Because we all signed up under the same agreement in TBC. Right. You know, we all did. Yes. Well, thank you so much, Nicole. You are right on point today with that. And that's also, you know, those people that's greedy for all these scammers, they're full with that scarcity mindset. You know?
Yeah.
They're full with it. Okay, look like Irene. HM Irene, are you there?
Yeah. Yes. Hello. Good morning. Good evening.
How you doing, Irene?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I think Nicole's comment is really good, but I just want to say on behalf of my country, think what is pulling down our community here is greed. Because a lot of members within the community have really been scammed. And there are particular areas where they really even do not want to even hear anything about anything dealing with cryptocurrencies. And the same very Tibetians who claim to be worthy, talking about TBC. Now, when things go out of their hands, they are the same people who begin critiquing TBC, because they go back again and tell the community that, you know, this has been a scam, yet they created this in the society. So it is really a very big challenge here in my country, because many have been scammed. And what really annoys me, I feel really touched when someone takes someone's money and even does not pay for the wallet. I have an area where there are so many members who claim they paid for their wallets, but they are not seen. And these people who scammed these members have disappeared. So that means it's the same issue also with the merchants. I know people are looking for money here and there. Now, when these merchants come in and the same merchants, the same group of people come in to scam people, then it's also going to be a scandal. So I agree with Nicole that really admin really needs to put a very strong hand towards scrutiny and screening merchants. Yeah, that's all I can say, because there's a lot going on in my country here, and people really, once they hear that the merchant thing is coming in, of course they'll pour in. They may want to get something out of it, but let's be aware of the scammers.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Irene. Thank you so much. You made some very strong points in that. Both you and Nicole are really on point with that. And everything we're talking about here is what perpetuates this scarcity mindset. Everybody's going about doing things the wrong way, and we got to be unified in TBC. We must be unified and in line. So thank you so much, Irene. I'm gonna go to someone else and see. Darren, Darren, are you there? Darren?
Yes. Hi, Steve.
How you doing, sir?
I'm very well, thanks. It's a little bit dark here still. That's why I haven't got my video going.
That's okay. That's good.
Yeah.
What do you feel about the subject matter, scarcity mindset?
Yes, I think that the scarcity mindset is really been brought upon us from generations of our families being conditioned by the scarcity mindset from the superpower, or they like to call themselves, but and that's what we need to change for the future for our children and their children and grandchildren and great grandchildren. And I think that with what we're doing here is just great, because lots of us are getting educated at the same time, and learning lots of new skills, and especially like with having these broadcast meetings and having the send button meetings, and the information that's coming from this is just incredible. And just with what you've said there, Nicole, and everything with merchants, and plus what was the other one? With what you're also saying, Stephen, with the whole system that we are encapsulated in, I guess. But yeah, I'm just happy watching this and really enjoying the progress that I've made myself coming through TBC, and my doing the broadcasts just gives me my voice that I want to opinionate to others. But I think I can see we're getting stronger and stronger all the time. And I actually had a cousin of mine here last night, and he said, people have tried to do this before and create a new currency, and they were killed and all this. I said, that might have been because...
Really? Really?
Yeah. So he said that's happened with individuals over the time. You reckon that were killed because they were trying to create a new currency. And I just mentioned to him, well, what we're doing here is we're a worldwide community now. And I said to him, imagine, I think is it the Tetris or something that they said with the two heads that you cut off and then a couple more grow. I was explaining that one to him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're doing here. So the actual super elite may be trying to find us in one country, and then that's not that country that they think that it's all originating from.
Mm-hmm.
So I just said to him, good luck with trying to find out which one is the one, which country is the place to try and shut down. But I don't think that's ever going to happen either.
I know. I
So
tell
I
you.
think the main thing is we're becoming stronger and stronger with the knowledge and everything that we're picking up. And I think that that's great for all of us because we can pass it on to the new people coming into the community,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we're just moving from strength to strength now, really.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
2019, just amazing. We can get to the billion members by 2019. That's incredible.
Mm-hmm. That would be wonderful.
Oh
Even 2020 would be wonderful. But as we do that, as we bring these new members in, as we all can agree upon that, we need to have conversations with them sometime. Because when you have conversations with people, you can tell pretty much what their thought process may be or have been. You got an idea, and you can help someone, particularly if you are a very positive person and you want to perpetuate being positive around people. You'll all will be surprised the effect you can have on others, because people listen to you. People listen to what you say, to what comes out of your mouth. That's why we got to be real careful in our broadcasters meetings. I know that our individual broadcasts that we go over the blog, but when we started speaking, we got to be real careful what we say to people, because I know I've had an impact across the world. Randy has had an impact. You're having an impact. Irene is having an impact. All these broadcasters, everyone is having an impact. And guess what? That's exactly what admin wants us to do, to have an impact, but a very great positive impact.
Yes. I think I was just going to say, Stephen, with the thing that we're talking about recently, where the mainstream media or old media was designed to do the same, but in a way that was to our adverse effect with the information that they're putting across to for example, cryptocurrencies, spreading around the world that Bitcoin's going to collapse and never going to recover. And that's the way they're doing that. We can do the same back in our own community, and with the technology now, broadcasts all over the world on YouTube, there's no stopping us.
Nope. No stopping us, because I think we have some really good people here in the Billion Coin. I think our mindset is getting better, and I know a lot of us we're probably seeing evolution within ourselves in terms of our mindset. In terms of trying to create and thinking more abundantly. I know for me, I've always thought kind of down that line, but I wasn't there yet. But I know I've grown a lot myself, and I'm sure you felt that way too, Darren.
Yes, definitely. I mean, years ago, before all this came about and everything, I used to do a lot of study about mind power and how we can live in a world of abundance. But I always thought there's a blockage somewhere with where we are with the world, and I was trying to fit in the government with the laws of the land, and it doesn't really fit in, the two of them together. So,
Wow.
I think it's great. I mean, this is just right down my alley, really, with what I've been sort of studying over the years, and how
Oh,
we can.
great. That's great to hear. Great to hear.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Darren. And you all, Darren is doing a wonderful job in his broadcast. You know, he's over 200 right now. I think he did his 212th yesterday. But I see Mr. Scott Thorne. He's in it. He's driving. You know, I won't bother you, Scott, because I know it's probably hard for you to talk while you're driving, you know.
No, I'm good. Yeah, just, the comments regarding to scarcity mind, that's their agenda. That's what they're pushing for, the scarcity. But as we all know it, or most of us know it, we are born with abundance, and we have been brainwashed, indoctrinated, and been, to have mindset of scarcities. Everything is scarcities, and even the air is scarcity. And now that they propagate, they're pushing to block out the sun, so that what insane mind are they thinking to block out the sun? Are you crazy?
Are you crazy?
I mean, think about that.
Block out the sun. Wow.
Block out the suns. Plant need sun. Humans, we also need suns. DNA, our skins, everything needs suns. It has to be balanced. And for them to say, we breathe too much pollution, and they're pushing this. It's all about their agenda to depopulation and scarcities. That's what they're pushing.
When you think about it, Scott, it's such an evil thing what they're pushing.
It is. I mean, it's abundant. We can live this planet thousands of years, not even affecting, because it's also recycled.
Right.
Nature in itself, it's recycled. Look how each season we have different seasons. Right now, in the fall, what does that happen? I mean, what do you see around you? Everything is turning itself. It's recycle itself. It's replenishing itself.
That's
the
right.
leaf, the trees dropping leaf, and then comes spring, with all this leaf. It's going into the dirt. It's decay. The worm eat it. The worm poop. The worm,
It fertilized the whole ground.
Fertilized the whole thing, and then come spring, boom! You have all this new growth, green leaf, new flower, fruit, start all over again. So, and then they keep saying, we don't have enough land for the population. You look around, land everywhere. Water, drinking fresh water, and even now they have technology to convert salt water into fresh drinking water. And they say, it's limited water. We are in a drought season. Come on.
A drought season.
Come on.
And it rains all. I mean, how to convert? Some people trying to convert rainwater into drinking water.
Well, you can, but then you got to do it carefully, because your gutter has collected debris, bird poop, whatever. You got to do it, drain it, have enough for ionized or some type of device or straining to strain out process for you can drink it. Right. But at the same time, Mother Nature provide abundance, and yet we elected this politician, this government to help us. Instead, they're taking their power to their heads and manipulate and just again, who gave them the power?
Right. That's a good question. That's
We
a good
the
question.
people. The people give them the power. We elect them into power. So there you have it. And with TBC, the power is in our hand.
Right in our hands.
right in our hand. We are in control of our currency. We are in control, uh, to build the wealth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So again, if we can come together in this year, 2019, and if we can reach our mission, our goal is 1 billion member, have 100% TBC economy, which is now the merchant tab is coming on already, as you can see. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
you checked it yet. So register whatever a merchant. So I'm setting a few appointments to talk to the merchant. I have a PowerPoint presentation where I show them, okay, this is what we can offer you as a merchant to sponsor joining the TBC community. And, register them coming into the community, pay for the $10 fee, and then print their business card and just like what
See?
I've been saying.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Teach them, okay, show them, and then there you go.
Mm-hmm.
And when their customer register into their account, you're the one who's managing their account, and then contact the person who just redeemed the 25,000 from their account, then teaching them, okay, the process with duplication.
Right.
So
You see when he speaks, he understands the process. People like Nicole Lee in her country in Italy understands the process. But I'm telling you, folks, I know our subject matter is scarcity mindset, but we as broadcasters, if we do everything that they're saying, because they're following the system that's in the blog, they're following it to the T, and this is what you got to teach and get the message out to other broadcasters. Now this is recorded. Once it downloads on my computer, I'm gonna download to YouTube, and then I'm gonna put it right in our broadcasters chat room so people can see it, or they can share it to other people. So this has been great, guys. Great. Hear from several people today. Thank you so much, Scott.
thank you.
So valuable to our community. So valuable. Randy and everybody, I'm gonna get ready to sign off now. We're gonna have this every Monday after Randy's Sinbud meeting. And I have one announcement to everyone here that is gonna happen if everything goes on schedule. This coming Sunday, I will be doing my 300th broadcast. And
Awesome.
I'm gonna request, and I want y'all to get the word out to as many broadcasters as possible, or TBC members, should I say, possible, to that broadcast, because it's going to be one similar to my 200 broadcast where I ask some questions about TBC. Because I do this every 100 broadcasts because I'm trying to determine how much we really know about the billion coin. I make it fun. I try to make as much fun as possible. I'm gonna have panelists, people that come on I'm gonna have my Google Hangout link where people can come on, and I'm gonna have people in the chat area. I'm gonna go from back. I'm asked a question for one for the panel, one for the chat room. And I hope that, I don't know if Randy gonna have the time. I'm hoping that he can be there too. But I'm hoping that some of my leaders around the country, it will be at, I'm gonna let y'all know now, it is going to be, my broadcast is usually around 3 o'clock, which is 12 o'clock California time. But I'm gonna make it 1 hour later this time. It's gonna be at 4 o'clock. Okay? It's gonna be 4 o'clock. This coming Sunday will be my 300 broadcast. And I'm getting the word out to a lot of people because I really want a lot of people to attend, and get the message out to TBC members all over the world. And I know some people will not be able to attend because I know they're in different time zones. So let's hope that everybody can be there, because it's going to be a great one, folks. Okay? Thank you all for being at this broadcast meeting. Thank you, Randy, and everybody. I will end this broadcast now. So y'all have a great day, great evening with your family and friends. Peace.
Thank you. Peace.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Peace.
Mm-hmm.